sit back, relax, and get ready because this is Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. Welcome back to another episode of Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. I am April Rocky, and
I am Sherry Perkins. Good morning.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Roll call has been taken.
Yes. we know who else here.
We know who we are.
That's right.
We're head and tails above everybody else.
That's right, because we show up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So if you are a first time listener to this podcast, we talk about things that my mom never talked about with me, and or her mom never talked about with her, and or women just don't talk about. So,
or maybe we've forgotten we talked about it.
Maybe we have revisionist history and we thought we did, but we didn't.
Yeah, all that.
Wrong, daughter.
Well, it did get intense at times, three of you.
Yeah, it's a juggling act.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this year we've been talking about things that will be transformative for women and things that could be transformative if you should choose to engage in those types of activities. And today is no different. We are talking about something that could potentially transform the way that you age. So, drum roll, please. Are you ready for this one?
Okay, we're ready.
Oh my gosh, it reminds me of Christmas Vacation.
Yes, reminds me of your dad. You do that stuff.
Nice. Okay, so this time we're talking about mind games, and in particular games good for the mind, and really, that's pretty much every game. So I've kind of been researching all of this, and the reason this topic comes up is because my mother plays a lot of Sudoku or games on her phone, and so I wanted to just tap into why that's important and the difference between playing a mind game like Sudoku or crossword versus board games like, dominoes and mahjong and things like that versus on your phone or video game. So
okay.
let's dive in. So what made you pick up the Sudoku or start playing games?
I love to play games, but I don't do much of it. I wasn't doing much of it. Maybe I was busy raising children and working full time and keeping house and all that stuff. I don't know. But now I have a little more time. And once you start in something like that, it becomes, at least to me, it becomes addictive. So I was flying back from California one time, and I was at the airport sitting beside this older lady, and she was doing Sudoku. And I kept watching, and I thought, I don't know what that is. That looks really tough. And so I finally interrupted and said, what is the game that you're playing? And she told me, and I said, oh, okay. I said, it looks really hard. And she goes, oh my gosh, no, that's real easy. My son taught me how to use it. And I said, okay. And she said, let me teach you. So she did. And I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. So there are, I believe, 9 little squares within one large square. And all the way across, you have to have the numbers 1 through 9. And you have to jiggle that number 1 to different spaces depending on the box where you need one. So I just found it fun and stimulating. And I think just the last few years, I've decided I must have been or must be ADHD. So when I start with one of these, why didn't you tell me? Hey, Mom, you might have a problem. And I'd say, I don't know what that means anyway. Just leave me alone. I'm fine. So anyway, I started doing it, and then it becomes addictive, and I'm trying to beat my time every time. It's like, and I just, and I love the ones that are easy because you go, whoosh, that's done. Next, you go to the medium difficulty. Right. And then I slow down a little bit for that. And then when I get to the hard, it's like, oh, come on, I don't have this time. I want to, and it just drives me. But I've noticed that it has stretched my mind. I think it helps your eyes. I think it helps your mind. It helps you to sit down and do something that can be relaxing if you let it be.
Right, right.
So that's how Sudoku came about. I still don't know if pronounce it right, if it's Sudoku or Sudoku, or do you have?
I don't even know. Like, there's so
Okay,
many people say it different ways, but
I know.
I always said Sudoku.
Okay,
Um, but I don't know. That's a good question.
well,
Whoever knows out there, let us know how to
it's,
pronounce it properly, because
that's
I'm
right.
sure it's
That's right.
a derivative of a possible different language, and we probably are butchering it as typical Americans do.
Exactly.
Well, so the research behind games like Sudoku or crossword puzzles or board games or just video games in general is that it is a workout for the brain. And so it helps to build upon that neuroplasticity and to fire new neural pathways. And
Mm,
that's really important because as we age, we tend to not create new neural pathways because we stop learning new things and stop looking at things differently. We usually fire on autopilot. And so playing games or engaging the brain in ways where you have to think differently about things is a way to work it out and a way to keep it fresh and to keep your brain actively firing new neural pathways, which is important in the guise of not getting or falling prey to diseases like dementia and within that sphere, Alzheimer's, Lewy body, like all of these different types of dementia. It keeps your brain functioning so you don't have, it's not susceptible like the rest of the body to disease.
okay.
So that is the main reason that people will recommend as you age to keep learning, keep
That's
keep
so true.
playing, keep, take a new route to work, like different
Hmm.
things like that, so that you can work your brain out just like you would work out your arms for better arm strength.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing is in the different types of games and what they're good for. And so I kind of was looking into the Sudoku type of games, the games that you do on paper, um, like crosswords and different things like that,
Yes.
and thought we could kind of start there and then go into ending with like games on your phone.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. So let me just lay this hotbed of health information on you about Sudoku and crossword puzzles and things that you have to do with paper and pen.
Okay.
So these types of games are helpful in sharpening your mind as you age. They will improve your cognitive function um, as far as like memory and attention and reasoning. Like when you're doing the Sudoku, you're having to like work your brain into reasoning. Why do I put this number here instead of here, and what happens, and then also remembering like I already used this number, so I need these numbers and different things like that. So that delays that cognitive decline and improves the function. Particularly adults over 50, it says if you are over 50 and you frequently play word games or number puzzles, then you tend to have better brain function. And some studies show that you perform better on memory reasoning tests equivalent to being years younger than your actual age. So have you heard the term like your chronological age versus your biological age?
I have. Suddenly I
So,
thought I was in third grade.
right, hey, some ways. But this is saying that, no matter what your chronological age is, where you are in the number game, your brain could test younger should you play games like word games or puzzle games with numbers, which is kind of cool because we're always looking to say, okay, how can my body be younger than my actual age? Because then that helps you live better longer, and not be a sick person aging. You're creating wellness within your growth path there. That's big words there. Anyway, it by doing reasoning games like that, those types of puzzles, you also are better at other games. So you're kind of working yourself out so that you can do other things that are more challenging, like a video game. So it's good to kind of condition yourself so that you can then move up. Like you said, you moved from easy Sudoku that was hard when you first started all the way to now the hard ones where it takes a little more brain power, it takes a little more time, slows you down a little bit. But that can move you on to the next one.
It does.
Do you have your book right there with you?
I do. I will show you my book.
Oh, there it is. Big Sudoku.
Yes, this is a large print. So you can move real fast with these. It's just like,
nice.
Yeah, you just fill in the little spots. And you can get them for $1.50 at the dollar stores. The other stores, they get up to $3 and $5, and I'm thinking, hey. But then when I go to the dollar store to get them and they're out, I freak. It's like, what?
Oh my God, you are addicted.
It's crazy. I do it every day.
Ways how you're ADHD.
Yeah, get started. Should I write it down?
Right? Oh my gosh. Woo, addiction number one. Yeah, so that's a good tip. Dollar store buys, get you a cheap, large print book of Sudoku and sit your butt down and get your brain working out.
Yes.
It's like a fitness plan for your brain, but it only costs you a couple bucks.
That's right.
better than that gym membership.
Right. Especially the one you sign up for and never do it.
Right? Oh my God. Victim number one.
Yeah.
Right?
We've all been there.
Triggered on that one.
Oh, no.
All right. So other things, it's such a stimulator. So it helps you focus, helps you pay more attention, helps you problem solve and decision make. All are great for cognitive health, but also good for not just as you age, but I think just in general. Like the more games you play as a kid and into teenage years and early adulthood, and like that is those decision-making skills and being able to pay attention, being able to look at things in a detailed way. Those are invaluable. Like that could get you through life in a very my gosh, if I had done all of these things early as a conditioning thing, then
yes,
I probably could have been better at my job or better in relationships to understand how to problem solve. Like there's so many use cases for all of those skills.
That's right.
So, I also was reading about the variety. So you say you're addicted to Sudoku. But it is really good to do a variety of different games of this nature.
Yes.
So if you have Sudoku, you should probably pick that book up and pick up a crossword puzzle and pick up another, like find the letter game or, the ones in the newspaper, right?
Right. Oh, I have a story about that.
Okay, give it.
If you want to hear it.
Do it.
So when I was married to Wayne, we always got the Star every day and weekends. And there's the crossword puzzle in the Star. Well, he would do it a little, I'd do it a little. And then it was like, I want to do the whole thing. I actually think I got pretty good at it. So at that point, I'm thinking, how are we going to do this? We cannot get two newspapers. So I had a printer in my office at home. And I would go out in the mornings, or he would, one of us, go out and get the newspaper, open it up to the puzzle, to the crossword puzzle. I'd put it on the printer and make a copy. I'd always give him the newspaper and I would use the copy. It was great. And then one day, when he was ill and getting worse, a friend from New Mexico came and stayed with us. And this friend, he and John were very good, deep friends. And they traveled on the motorcycles out west and spent a lot of time together being crazy. So he was spending the night, and I went out and got the newspaper, came back in, and I thought, how are we going to do this? Because I knew he liked to do the crossword puzzle too. So I said something about, you guys just want to forego the crossword puzzle today? And Wayne said, no. And John said, are you kidding me? He said, I want it. And so I made 2 copies, gave Wayne
Yeah.
the newspaper, and we all sit there doing this crazy crossword puzzle together. But it's another one of those things that you get addicted to or used to, and you find pleasure in that. I don't know why, but when you do, you can hardly stop yourself. Well, meantime, I don't do that so much because I don't take the Star anymore because it's too expensive.
I'm
Yeah, I know. But it irritates me to think you spend that kind of money for a newspaper. But
Well, but
I
that's
know.
because now there's so many forms of ways to get your news that
That's right.
newspapers don't have the subscription, so they
They
can't
do not.
keep it at a quarter. They got to
That's right.
raise it up.
A quarter.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. But now I think last time I inquired, it was like $42 a month. Oh, is that right?
That's not bad. I mean,
Yeah, well, I know, but
I mean, it is
yeah,
bad, but when it used to be
but
like 5.
yeah, right.
But hello,
So,
things have changed.
yes, yeah, true. But it was great fun. And,
Yeah,
just it even added to fellowship, I guess you'd say.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
get hooked in on a
Both
game
doing
that you both, yes. Kind of like when you read a good book and you want to
yeah,
share it with someone and be able to
yes,
talk about it. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's great.
yeah. I love the crossword puzzles. I
Uh-huh.
don't do them enough now because, quite frankly, we moved down here. I can't figure out what's the newspaper down here to subscribe to. Then I can't
Yeah,
figure out where do I subscribe? Like, it's so
right.
crazy. Anyway, I
Yeah,
just
I
want a
know.
physical paper every day. Like, it
I
just is.
know. There's something about
Ah,
that.
yeah. So
Well, you want me
anyway,
to call around and find out for you?
yeah, sure. You can be my secretary.
Okay. Yeah, I'll write that
But
down.
I loved, so the fascinating thing about the Indianapolis Star is that I know the puzzle maker.
Oh, you do?
I do. So
Oh,
and I'm not sure he does it anymore because he was aging back then, but he may still do it. I'm not sure. He probably does because he's that kind of brainiac, or maybe he's
yeah.
passed away. I don't even know. I haven't kept track. So Mickey Maurer is the one who does the puzzles for the Star. He also does the New York Times crossword
I've tried
occasionally.
that.
So it's interesting that there are people who are puzzle makers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And his brain was so sharp all the
Oh,
time, and he was
yes,
just
yes.
on. But that was his thing. He did the puzzles. So the New York Times is supposed to be the most challenging crossword puzzle ever. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like every week, and people are like, "Oh, if I can just beat the New York Times." And that
Yes,
was
yes.
always my thing. I was like, I just want to be able to do the New York Times with pen.
Yes.
I don't want to have to pencil. So I started doing the New York or the Indianapolis Star crossword, but then I was like, okay, I need to condition myself. So I grabbed the USA Today, which is probably the easiest crossword
Really?
book
Okay.
outside of like kids' books,
Uh-huh.
but it is like super easy because it's more cultural and sometimes ties into what's happening in the world right then instead of like having to know all of the things from all the encyclopedias. So I started with USA Today. I can run through that thing in pen in no time. I was like, boom, boom.
Don't you love it? Yeah, in pen. I
Love
like that too. I don't use
So
a pencil.
satisfying. And then at the end, you're like, oh, I can do it.
I know. Well, there was and it may have been the USA Today, there, years ago. Um, it was a New York paper, and it was a competitor, I think, of um, New
Was
York
it the
Times, I
Post
guess.
or
No,
the
I
Wall
can't.
Street Journal?
Wall Street Journal. I
Mhm.
subscribed to that at one point
Yeah, me too.
just because it was kind of fascinating and total different slant on a lot of things.
Mhm.
And I tried the crossword puzzle a few times, and I thought, whoa. I think you find when you're doing the crossword puzzle, over a period of time, some of those
Mhm.
clues show up again. And
Yeah.
then you remember what that meant and how that would work in here. And so that was kind of fun. But I finally stopped taking the
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting because there's certain clues that they reuse because they fit in the
yes,
word puzzle
yes, yes,
better, and they're with unique letter configurations, so then
yes.
they'll fit in places where other words wouldn't fit.
Right.
So you do when you start doing crosswords, you see them more often, and then you're like, "Ooh, I know this. I've had
Yeah,
this."
right, right. It's
Yes,
crazy, isn't it?
yes, yes, yeah. So they're I think variety too, like, just the different levels of the puzzles, like you said, from Sudoku, easy all the way up to hard. Same thing with crosswords. And then it just like, it changes. Your brain is having to switch how it's thinking. So you're not always thinking the same way.
Yes,
So if you're
yes,
constantly doing one type of puzzle, your brain gets into a rhythm and you're not firing any new neurons or
yes,
neural
yes.
pathways, not neurons.
Okay. I knew that was right. That was the right word for
I yeah, um, but so if you're switching it up and you're going from one game to another, like you're challenging your brain to not be on autopilot, and that's
Yes,
of it
yes,
all. So, but you also have to enjoy what you're doing. That makes a
yes.
difference.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Because then you're firing on not only just your brain activity, but your hormonal activity. You're getting serotonin flowing, so you're feeling more joyful, you're feeling more happy. It's a better mood and when you finish one, look out. You're like hormones are like whoosh,
Yeah, I'm gonna take myself to lunch.
right? Boom.
That's how I'm gaining all this weight. I got one. I'm going to lunch.
That's it. How about the reward? The reward could be a walk. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Instead of lunch or drink.
Okay.
I just have a
Right.
margarita. I got done.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh. So that's kind of the thing. I think that was really really fun is that enjoyment and the turn on of other things in your body that then are you're helping not just your brain but it's going all over your system and enlivening your system. So that's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I
So
had,
let's. Oh, go ahead.
no, I had something to tell you about another game, but
Yeah.
you might get there and then I can carry on. Okay.
Well, okay. So the next set of games, if we're switching from like a puzzle, word puzzle, number puzzle kind of thing, switch to board games. Board games can be anything like Monopoly type of board game, all the way up to dominoes, which I love, and or mahjong, which is now
Yes.
new popularity in the United
Yes.
States, which culturally it has been in very popular with all types of Asian cultures. However, now the benefits of this social interaction, the psychological, the cognitive, like that, all now is like longevity game mahjong. So, and I know you play mahjong on your phone, right?
Yes, on my phone. However, I did get a game.
Okay, good.
Yes, it was a gift. So I have been reading through it, but I haven't gotten back to figuring it out.
Hmm.
because it appears to be a little different than on my phone.
Yeah.
But I remember years ago when I'd watch a movie, sometimes they would have a little group of Jewish ladies meeting for the afternoon, and they were playing mahjong. And I thought, gosh, I wonder how that works. And then you look at the individual little characters that they put on the tiles, and it's like, wow.
Hmm.
So I am enjoying that a
Yeah.
lot on my phone. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So the benefits of playing it in its natural state, which is tiles, right? You're playing
Yes,
like very similar to domino tiles.
yes.
But the benefit of playing is that you're getting your hands involved in it.
Ah,
So not only is your brain active, but your hands are also active. So you get that creativity. Your body is sending signals to other areas. So you're activating other areas of your physiological system, and that is more beneficial than just brain game.
okay, makes sense.
So yeah, it's an excellent
Oh,
game for your health.
yes,
Any
yes,
type
yes.
of board game where you're moving things, having to figure things out, but in particular, dominoes and mahjong are really like because you have to think about strategy. You have to
Mm-hmm,
think forward.
mm-hmm,
It's more than just your board game or your puzzle where you're putting something into a place.
mm-hmm.
Your board game is I have to think strategically about where could these pieces be that I need? Who's going to make the next move? Because you usually have to play with partners or people.
Yes, that makes a difference,
It
doesn't
makes a huge difference. So it
it?
fires in a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
And you really like, there's so many benefits to it.
Uh-huh.
So many benefits. So let
Yeah,
me. So for research has indicated that these activities help maintain mental acuity, reduce stress, and provide a sense of community.
that's important.
So
That's
important.
big. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, one of the nine pillars in like a blue zones, which is
Yeah.
an area that is ripe for centenarians, people to live better longer, is community. And
Yes.
a lot of these cultures that are deemed like original blue zones in the world all have some sort of communal activity, and a lot of them are playing mahjong or
Ah,
dominoes. Like
great.
Sardinia is dominoes,
Okay.
and in other cultures it's mahjong. Like it's things where you have to. It's more than just your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have people in your neighborhood or in your circle that play mahjong that you can play with?
No, none that I'm aware of. But my plan is once I learn how to do it with the tiles
Mhm.
um, on the table,
Mhm.
once I get that down, then I think I'm going to seek out some people. Now, several people play dominoes,
Mhm.
and that's that would be easy enough. I'm sure to find people in the neighborhood to do that.
Yeah.
But it's just fun. All that laughing
Mhm.
and just picking and back and forth at each other or taking
Mhm.
the tile or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like playing cards. Same thing.
Sure is.
Cards
Yes.
fit into this as well.
Yes.
But it's, getting together. We used to get together all the time with other groups of friends and play cards. And
Yes.
we have a couple down here that we've met who are, he's from Indiana.
Oh,
And
so
so the question was like, do you play euchre?
right.
And
That's
then
always
they
the
were like,
question.
yes. And I was like, okay. So we've gotten
Yeah.
together a couple times to play euchre, and they're always like, "We need
Oh,
another euchre night," and it's
yeah.
so I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fun.
we do, but things are
Yes.
busy." But
Yes,
um,
yes.
but I remember you guys always going, and I don't know if this is just something I made up, but always going to friends' house to play cards
All the time.
all
And
the
they would
time,
come
right?
to our house every week. They
Mm-hmm.
usually the Warwicks and a few other couples, and we'd sit and play euchre. And oh, and then they would come up with new games, and so we'd try those, and it was wonderful. And you got the snacks. We'd have the popcorn and things like that, and some pop, and it was fun. And I think you get to know people very deeply that way. That
Oh my gosh, yes.
communion. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and you get to know who's super competitive and
Oh,
who
yes.
who wants to have fun.
Yes.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
call anybody out, but
Uh-huh.
it was a very competitive person. We were pissed because Dante and I won the first euchre round, and he was so mad. He was like, "We need a rematch." I'm like, "Dude, it's fun."
Yeah, yeah. When your dad and I first met, your aunt Marilyn, Uncle Dick introduced us, and they had us over for pizza, and we played euchre. And anyway, it was hilarious because your Uncle Dick was such fun. And Marilyn would say, "Dick, are you cheating? You're cheating. You can't cheat." He'd go, "Marilyn, I have no reason to cheat." And we'd play on, and then I'd see Bob kind of smile and look at Dick. He's cheating. From that point on, every time we'd play cards, it was like Dick was cheating. At least we accused him of that. He probably didn't all the time, but he made it fun. He made it crazy fun, and something just enough to get Marilyn riled up.
Sure.
Yeah, it was
You
great.
love that.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, there's something to that, right? The laughter and the community and the memories created and like all of the things.
Oh yes,
It's
yes,
beyond our cognitive and
yes.
workout. It becomes this whole healthy activity that
Yes.
we, quite frankly, don't do enough of anymore because
Absolutely.
everybody's siloed into I'm just going to play my game, or I'm going to play a game
Exactly.
over the internet where I don't interact with people.
Right, right.
So
Yes. I've
we're
got
kind of,
I've go ahead, hon.
I was just going to say we're missing that connection.
Yes, we really, really are. I remember even then, as we started having children, there were certain people we would still play cards with, and we'd take the children along. And I specifically remember playing cards with your Aunt Susie and Uncle Jim at their home. And you and Tim and Andy and Julie, I think we didn't have Emily then, I don't believe. Anyway, pretty soon, here you kids came out of the bedroom, and we looked over at you. Hi. And you all had lipstick all over your body. You had gotten into Aunt Susie's makeup, evidently, and you had just covered yourselves.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
hilarious. And
That's,
some kind of cream.
oh my God. Who knows?
It was a mess.
Yeah. We would do all sorts of wicked things with them.
Yeah. But we finished the game.
Yeah, you're like,
After we
move
cleaned it
along.
up.
Gotta
Right.
play this hand.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, so another thing that I want to mention with board games in particular and dominoes, mahjong is pattern recognition.
Ah.
So our brains are able then to recognize patterns. And this is true. We just talked about it with crosswords where there's a pattern of having like the same word in and you see it. Pattern recognition is also a skill that we kind of lose if we don't play games like this. So that's another thing. And then what else? Processing, being able to process information, like taking it in and really thinking through, what number do I need? Or like in Boggle, what word could I play for the most amount of money up against this word? Like things that just really we don't think about a whole lot, but that we could really enhance our skills at by playing these types of games.
Right. Yes.
I thought it was interesting that it talked about stress reduction. And I think that if I'm thinking correctly, that would come in with the serotonin release and the laughter and the community part of it, like lowering your blood pressure down, really getting into a game and having fun. But it may also be any game, right? That settles you down, that slows you down. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's probably the whole idea behind it. I think it does. It just, you just when you know the people well, especially, you're just comfortable,
Hmm.
and you will say and do and joke around, and you find out triggers about each person, and so it makes it really enjoyable, and a lot of digging back and forth, and
Yeah. They've also found that it combats depression and feelings of loneliness.
mm, I'm sure, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. Which is, I think more and more because of our technology, we have become siloed and
yes,
people are really lonely. So even in playing with someone not in the room, even doing something like Wordle, where you're online and you can match your words up and share them with, you're playing against other people. Um,
hmm,
that's a little closer
uh-huh.
and can make you feel less lonely. But I think we miss the being in the room with people, like, so that you can, like, you know, slap their back or whatever,
Right,
be like,
right,
hey, or yay,
right,
cheers together, like bond with other
mm-hmm,
people.
mm-hmm.
We miss that. And so if we can play more games together and bond in that way, I do have to say, I'm not a huge game night person. Like I don't, that's not the first thing where I'm like, what we need is a good game night. That's not normally my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I just am kind of like,
I think sometimes when you are working a job and keeping your house up and church activities, sometimes just being at home and downshifting feels really good.
Mhm. Yeah,
just,
yeah.
but we still should make time for that. At least once a month, probably. Don't you think? Kind of
I
keeps a
mean, once a
connection.
month seems like a lot to me.
Well, it depends on who you're playing with.
It's like games.
Yeah.
Um, but every single person we have met down here, every single couple, they play games, and they're always like, "Let's have a game night." I've been to more game nights down here than even. I'm
Ever.
like, "What? Why are we doing that?" And it's fun, and I always have fun, like when
Right.
I'm in it, and it's always like, "Oh, we should do that more often." And then later on, I'm like, "Nah."
Right.
I would rather have people over for a dinner party.
Yes, now that suits you.
That's my thing. Like a
It is. It
slow,
is.
conversational, let's
Yeah.
talk,
Yeah.
like I'm more into that. Or a book club
Yes.
where we talk about the books and
Uh
read. And
huh.
I,
Those are good things. Those are good too.
yeah.
And
So
I
that
bet you everybody would want to come to your dinner night.
are fun.
Yeah.
But I think, I probably need to do more stuff like that. Like I've never been to
Yes.
a trivia night.
Well, you would probably jive on that. I've been to two different restaurants where they were doing that trivia
Mhm.
thing, and I remember playing with this one guy. I didn't know him well, but we would see each other at the restaurant. He and his friends and my friends, and one time he said, "Hey, could you play trivia?" Blah blah blah, and I said, "Okay, okay." Well, he was real smart, so it was like, "Yeah." Click, click,
Yeah,
click.
I'll be on your team.
Right? And the few easy ones like, what kinds of potatoes can you serve? I would
Right.
get that.
Yeah.
Baked, fried, or
Right.
raw.
Put me on the Family Feud. I'm golden.
Yes, right, right. We actually won a couple times.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it was fun.
Yeah,
Days come by.
yeah. I need to open my mind to more game nights and
Uh-huh.
because I know Travis would love it. I mean,
Oh, yes. Oh,
he'll play
yes.
all day long. Like
Yeah,
game night. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, and then he's like,
Right.
oh no, let's not do that. You know?
Well, if it means gambling, he'll be there
Yeah.
every
Is
time.
there money involved? Can I drink while I do it? Then yes. Can I laugh and win? Yes.
Right.
Oh my
Oh
god.
gosh.
Yeah. So many stories.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we move away from board games into video games, online games, I wanted to say this: Mahjong. Uh, they specifically call this out as a major benefit because they have found that cognitive performance in patients with mild dementia, particularly memory and attention, has improved when playing mahjong. So that's, I mean, what a better
Wow.
sales pitch than that for playing mahjong.
Absolutely.
And then board games and dominoes help maintain mental activity in seniors and promote social interaction, which is crucial to our emotional well-being.
Very
So
good.
those games have more benefit. So we're kind of seeing like puzzles, word games, things like that are really super beneficial to your brain and keeping it active and firing. Board games, tile games, those are really beneficial in bigger ways than just our brain. It helps in multiple health ways. And so let's switch now to video games because I know you play online games.
Yes.
So still a good workout.
Mm-hmm.
Regular gaming is associated definitely with improved function. Any type of game. Benefit for video games, and in particular, probably not mahjong video games, but like active action video games that you have faster reaction times because you're having to react in the moment
Right.
to it. So that's
Yes.
benefit of a video game. Enhances your memory. So a little bit because you have to remember where you've been, where you're going, kind of thing in the game. And then spatial awareness. So in video games, and these are video games you probably don't play, but video games like where you're in a scenario and you're having to work through something, you have to have spatial awareness of where things are. So those are the benefits of playing video games. Now, I will say this: the 3D action games, that's where all that spatial comes in. That's the problem solving and all of that is still there. The new neural pathways is still there. But one thing that we should consider is the amount of blue light exposure we have by playing on the screen.
Uh-huh.
And blue light exposure is not good for your health in very detrimental ways. So there's a trade-off there. Like playing video games is good from the perspective of those things I just mentioned. However, being on your phone too much and being on a video game screen too much can have adverse effects to your physical being and your mental being.
Okay.
So let me kind of set the stage for this. Screens have a lot of blue light, and blue light is has a high spectrum color on the light scale that is very intense. It's very cool, crisp, but it hits the eye and the body differently than other warmer light. And what can happen is prolonged exposure can not only damage your vision, and particularly in children who start out using screen games, it can promote and actually activate nearsightedness.
Ah.
You can actually damage your vision by prolonged exposure to blue light. What it also does is it hits the body and the brain differently. So it can create depression, anxiety, obesity, and open your body up to exposure to chronic illness. So it's a whammy. It's like a big whammy. And in when we're talking about gaming and being on our phones all the time, even if you're just scrolling on your phone, it really can have an adverse effect on your health. So I know that you play Mahjong on your phone. How many hours a day would you say that you do that?
I'm probably guilty of an hour.
Mm. An hour of like direct
Yeah,
exposure.
like
Yeah.
you just can't stop.
Yeah. So that light goes in and hits your photoreceptors in your retina, and then it goes directly to your hypothalamus. Like you're like right into your brain and right into your nervous system.
Hmm.
So shifting from Mahjong on your phone to Mahjong in person,
It's a very good idea.
it takes away all that exposure to that hazardous light.
Hmm.
So that's when they're talking about limiting screen time. That's the main concern, is that harsh, your receptors are taking in that harsh light. That's the biggie, is because it's not good for your health.
Mm-hmm. So where my mind goes is all these children that are living on their phones, doing that day in and day out, hours.
Yes. So we have to find a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Even adults were so
Right,
acceptable
right.
to it, because you can see how addicting it is to just, I mean, you'll pick up your phone, not you in particular, but people will pick up their phone just out of like
Right.
habit. Like they're just like, oh,
Yep.
they don't need to look at your phone. You don't
Right.
need, like, it doesn't need to be on all the time. It doesn't need to be in your face,
I know.
but
Yeah.
just habitual. It's like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
or the addiction of the scroll, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
scrolling for hours and just
Oh, yes, yes,
all of a
yes.
sudden you've lost 45 minutes and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I got to get out the door. Like
Yeah.
things fall by the
Yep.
wayside. We get addicted um, by design
Mm-hmm.
to these mechanical things that
Uh-huh.
suck our lives dry. So if we can find balance in it, like if you can set yourself a timer,
uh,
or like only look at your phone at certain times of the day, or because I think also with neurodivergence, you have the um, inclination to get lost in it.
mm,
So you're in it and you're just like gobbling up because it's stimulating, right? It's constant stimulation.
mm-hmm.
Um, but we get lost in it. And if we don't designate time and say, okay, I'm only going to spend this is when I do this, you could lose, Tanner would lose a whole day of playing video games. A
Sure.
whole day if we just let him sit there.
Oh, yeah.
No food, no water, no pee, like the kid was a camel. He never got up. And so I'm like, you got to get up and go pee. Just,
Uh-huh.
if you want to play more, get up and go pee, come and eat. Like
Uh-huh.
we had to bargain with him
Oh, I
because it was
know.
easy to get lost in it.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So there's good and there's bad. So if we can find balance, and then the impact on older adults, it suggests that video game interventions can help older adults maintain cognitive abilities such as memory and attention. However, the adverse effects are taking a toll as we age. So
Mm-hmm.
aging us faster.
Mm. Not good.
Not good. Yeah, not good. But, you know, you have to find the balance.
Right. That's right.
It's a good
I
thing you
better.
got that Mahjong game.
I was just thinking that. It's a good thing. I better get started on learning it now. I've opened up the package, read a little bit, and thought, that didn't seem hard.
Yeah.
And then I reread it and I think, well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
So,
There are classes where you can go
really?
and learn Mahjong.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think the YMCA's offer
Okay.
mahjong, like intro mahjong. Here, most of the neighborhoods, like the clubs, have mahjong.
Oh,
You can go and just, if you're new, they're like, okay, coming in, learn. We recently have a new like mahjong group happening in downtown Naples. They're meeting at a bookstore. I think they met at a little tea room. Like if you want to join the mahjong, come in, kind of thing. And I mean, it costs money, but
yeah.
But there's, there are opportunities to go learn, and then you can put your little group together.
Yes. Great idea.
Or you may find that you love being in a room with 20 other tables.
Right.
Click, 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 click on the tiles and all.
Yes.
Yeah. You just have to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this has been interesting.
Yeah. I think it's really, cool that this kind of play has so many benefits.
Because we don't think of it in those terms generally.
At all. At all. Yeah. It's wild. All right. So let's get gaming.
Okay.
I will do a game night. How about that? I will do it.
Okay.
Most of the people are listening who are like, yes.
Right. We will do it. I will work on that. I will start in on that.
Yeah. I mean, what you could get 3 other gals together and say, let's try. Let's just read through the instructions and learn as we go. Which would fire more neural pathways, which would be more engaging, which would be more connection, which
Yes.
It's the domino effect.
Yeah, that must be it. That was really great.
All right. Anything else to add that you want anybody to know about games?
No. That's been interesting, and I look forward to learning. So I can play on the table.
Yeah. Get off the phone.
Yes.
Or at least give yourself a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that is true too.
All right. Well, until next time,
Ciao, baby. We'll see you later.
Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again next time for Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. We'll be back, so set your calendars, set your alarms, get ready, get set, follow, subscribe, and don't miss a beat.